Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.
Good morning. Today we are going to have the Hindu analysis of 21st September 2021. But before starting the lecture, let me tell you that in Old Rajan Nagar, Delhi, where our office and classroom is there, offline classes have resumed from yesterday. So those who are, let's say, already present in Delhi, they can attend in a physical manner these lectures also. Okay, so those in the foundation batch or other students who want to attend these lectures as let's say those who have enrolled in Lukman IS for any other course who want to attend the Hindu analysis lectures offline also, it is available in the classroom. Okay, yes. Let us see which are the important articles from today's The Hindu newspaper. Yes, these are the important articles. First of all, let us take overview of all these articles, wherein we will understand the context of these articles and how they are relevant to our mains and prelims related syllabus. Okay, so first of all, mains related developments on page number 6 and 7. So first article, critical analysis of bad bank. Okay, so this is spelling mistake actually. Okay, so this should be bad bank proposal. Yes, on Sunday's newspaper we have already discussed in detail. Again we will try to revise how this bad bank works and the significance of this. Okay, okay, so voice is not clear, just a moment. Yes, am I audible now? Yes, am I audible clearly? Okay, yes, let us continue. Yes, we are talking about the bad bank proposal that the government has come up with to resolve these NPAs with the banks. Okay, so we'll understand its working and the critical analysis is being done here in this editorial about this proposal. So it is important from GS3 paper economy part. Then on page number 7 there is a very good article talking about ease of doing business index, which is recently scrapped by World Bank Group. Okay, so why it is scrapped, what are the issues, let's say ethical issues in that ease of doing business ranking, and how India's ranking improved over the period of time but has not resulted into some of the important outcomes in the economy on the ground, and the way forward is mentioned. Okay, so this is important from GS3 paper economy part as well as GS2 paper governance part. Okay, so on page number 7 this is the important article. Then on page number 3, Delhi city page, there is one article talking about Delhi government to spray biodecomposer in paddy fields. As the November month is nearing, Delhi government is preparing for, let's say, the probable formation of smog during the Diwali time and around. Okay, so that's why it is promoting in its own territory the spraying of biodecomposer. So what is this Pusa biodecomposer? Basics about that, it is important from environment section. Then climate change is a key driver of financial risk. This is the statement given by Deputy Governor of RBI in one of speech. So which two important, let's say, manifestation of the climate change that may happen in the economy, how climate change will affect the economy, you need to be aware about this. So we will understand that from economy as well as environment section GS3 paper. Okay, so this is on page number 11, business page or economy page. Then specifically for prelims examination, COVID-19 vaccine export to resume, Health Ministry has said. Okay, so under the initiative of Vaccine Maitri, India is going to export these COVID-19 vaccines manufactured in India. So there is mention of COVAX facility. Basics about COVAX facility we'll try to learn for prelims examination. Then Western Ghats offer major additions to flora. Botanical Survey of India has recently published the taxonomical collection of new species found in different parts of India in last 1 year. So that is as a follow-up to environment section, different flora and fauna species, new species that are found, you need to be aware for prelims examination. And finally, practice prelims MCQs on today's current affair. Yes, so let us go into detail now all these articles. First article, the end game. Okay, so editorial on page number 6, it talks about bad bank proposal of the government. So this bad bank, we will try to understand what is this bad bank and how does it work. Okay, so bad bank is a particular financial entity that is being created so as to separate the non-performing assets that are there with the banks. Okay, and through that separation, the original banks will be able to focus more on credit creation and its routine banking facilities or activities. Okay, so at present the banks are actually facing problem in managing these NPAs, recovering these values of these assets from the market, and much of the resources are being invested in that efforts. Okay, and that's why the government has come up with this proposal of bad bank, which will acquire these non-performing assets from the banks and try to add value to them, try to sell them in the market and acquire, or we can say that recover the values of these assets, and then we can say that repay to the original banks. This is how we have to understand the meaning of bad bank. Let us understand its working now. Try to pay attention here. Suppose, let's say this is bad bank created by the group of banks. Okay, so together this is being created by a group of banks, but here we can say that more than 51% of stakes by government in this bad bank. Okay, so we can say that substantially owned by the government. Then let us understand, suppose this is bank 1, bank 2, bank 3, and they are having different levels or different amounts of non-performing assets in their account books. Okay, now what will happen is these banks will sell these non-performing assets to the bad bank. That is, bad bank is acquiring these non-performing assets from these banks. Now when it is acquiring these assets, it is giving back the 15% valuation of these assets upfront as cash, and 85% or remaining amount as securities which are tradable in the market. Okay, so this is how the working is going on. Now what will happen here, the government has come up with backstop facilities. Backstop facility. Now what is this backstop facility given by government of around 30,600 crore rupees for next 5 years? For next 5 years, how it is going to work? Backstop means, something is falling along the slope and we are stopping it. I have seen one, let's say, cartoon made like this, that the bank is falling and the government or this bad bank is stopping it like this, or the backstop facility in this manner. Okay, so this backstop facility will come into picture, that is, the government support will come into picture when the final resolution of the non-performing assets acquired by bad bank will happen, and suppose the final valuation is less than the earlier valuation, that is, the face value is, we can say that, less than the final resolution, or the face value is, let's say, the difference between face value and the final resolution, if suppose that is negative, there is gap, then what will happen? The government will pay from this amount to this. That gap will be filled up like this. Now there will be some particular fee on this bad bank is to be paid by to the government in next 5 years. Whenever such, let's say, NPAs are acquired by the bad bank, then this bad bank is supposed to resolve that in less amount of time. Otherwise, that bad bank is supposed to pay particular fee to the government as a penalty. In this manner, there will be efficient resolution of these NPAs by the bad bank. Okay, so at present, the bad bank is supposed to acquire 90,000 crore rupees worth NPAs, and the final aim is of 2 crore rupees NPAs. The final ultimate aim is 2 crore. Okay, sorry, not 2 crore, 2 lakh crore, sorry, rupees worth NPAs. Now you have understood the working of this bad bank. Now critical analysis. When we are saying critical analysis, we need to go into depth while analyzing this. At the surface, we can say that this is a good initiative. Why good initiative? At present, despite of mechanism that are already there, like there is IBC, but not much successful. Why this has been not much successful? There is one problem here. In IBC, we have learned this in ED lectures. So in IBC, Insolvency Bankruptcy Code, Insolvency and Bankruptcy Code, here the consensus among the banks is required for the final resolution of that NPAs. Okay, and this consensus, that is 66.5 voting percentage is required for the final resolution. This is very difficult, and because of that, when this is eliminated through this bad bank, we are expecting much professional resolution of these NPAs. Okay, this is the critical analysis, we can say the positive aspect. However, there are some problems. How? The international experience says that there is one study of European Union banks, and it says that such kind of asset separation from the banks is not going to be much effective unless and until it is supported by the recapitalization by the government. So bank recapitalization, that is support by the government, budgetary support by the government to the public sector undertaking banks or PSBs. Okay, so this recapitalization will help the banks with the available capital. Okay, the capital availability will increase, and then the credit creation will be further increased. In this manner, this is going to be, let's say, the further recapitalization is required along with such asset separation. So finally, the success will depend on professionalism of bad bank officials, and along with, or we can say that this bad bank is alternatively called as National Asset Reconstruction Company Limited. Okay, at the same time it will be assisted by India Debt Resolution Company Limited. This will be formed by group of companies. This will be formed by a group of, let's say, both public sector banks and private sector banks coming together. They will form this IDRCL, India Debt Resolution Company Limited, and this will help in adding value and final resolution of acquired non-performing assets. Okay, so how these two work professionally? so as to efficiently resolve these NPAs. So final success will depend on this. In this manner, you should conclude to any question that has been asked in your answer about the bad banks. Okay, any question regarding bad banks?
Sir, this bad bank will be created with a non-recovery of loan.
Just a moment. Yes, tell me.
Sir, main bad banks will come by non-recovery loans.
Yes, non-recoverable loans, or we can say that at present many a times what happens is the companies or the corporate institutions when they fail to repay these loans because of, let's say, when they go bankrupt, we can say that they are not having sufficient profits with them. So what happens is they are not able to repay that, right, and they declare themselves bankrupt, and the bankruptcy resolution is, let's say, going on through different procedures like IBC procedure is there. Now those assets, when they are acquired by the banks, like the banks are eligible to acquire the assets of that company, as these companies are not able to repay the loans, right? When they acquire these assets, they need to be sold in the market so as to earn some profit. We have to manage those assets, right? And banks are not having that professionalism to manage those assets. That's why the asset reconstruction companies, the ARCs were formed, but they have not been, let's say, much efficient and successful, right? So that's why we are separating those assets from the banks now.
So, present one of the same problem is going on in India right now. Example, agriculture. Agriculture has been, they are not repaid any amounts on that.
No, I'm not getting. Which company you are saying?
Agriculture project, sir.
Which one?
Agriculture.
Agriculture.
Before sanctioning, they didn't show what is the property and under control of that one. That is, now they are going to be facing what are the assets having under the control of agriculture. Government is not able to find out the total property, sir. They are not able to tell, and they are not able to identify. Even more than 10 years is going on present. More than 10 years. I think 2011 or 12 it has been shut down, sir, the company. Then present banks are able, before sanctioning the loans, they need to have the rule to, if you are not able to pay the amount, they are ready to hand over the particular property. Is there any chance from the bank side, sir?
That's why, earlier what used to happen is some of the fraudsters, they used to start the company, they used to borrow from this bank, that bank, 3-4 banks, and these banks individually, they were not aware about each other's loan accounts. And because of that, what happened is these banks were not knowing that the person is not having sufficient, let's say, capital, or we can say that mortgage or something like that, any property for the mortgage. So for that purpose, now recent proposal of account aggregator, do you remember this? We have learned this recently. The government has come up, or RBI has come up with account aggregator framework. We learned this, right? And through this, what will happen? The information about the person or the company will be available with this account aggregators, and the banks, before sanctioning the loans, will gather this information, and we can say that the credit worthiness of the individual and company will be decided now appropriately. Up till now, the credit worthiness was not decided in an objective manner. There was lack of data availability, past data availability. Because of that, many problems happen. Okay, so in future we can expect the situation to improve. Fine. Yes, so straightforward question can be asked, like critically analyze the proposal to establish bad bank to resolve the NPAs with banks. Okay, so prepare such kind of question in advance itself. Then Next article, the end of doing business ranking. Yes, in last 5 to 6 years, every year when this index used to release, the government of India used to boast India's ranking improvement in the ease of doing business, and this is now closed. Okay, the World Bank has scrapped ease of doing business ranking and the report itself. Now let us understand why this is scrapped. Okay, but before that, first of all, let us understand what is this ease of doing business index that is annually released by World Bank Group. Okay, so let us understand the, let's say, meaning of this ease of doing business. Basically, it talks about how the simple rules are there for starting and running any business in the country. To start and run any business in the country, how the rules by the administration or the government are simplified, the appropriate word. Okay, the more the rules are simplified, or the more, let's say, easy for a person to start any business and run that business without hassles, so that decides the ease of doing business. How it is beneficial? Ease of doing business ranking, when the country is having a very good ease of doing business ranking, that means, that suggests that the rules are very transparent, simplified, and it is very easy for any, let's say, person or the company to start the business, expand its business, run that business, earn the profit. It shows to the world that this country is very much interested in the foreign investment, and therefore FDI, foreign direct investment, FII, start invest in that country in different businesses. Okay, in this manner we should understand the significance. How does it work? There are many different, let's say, indicators, and they are aggregated with certain formula. That is not important here, but we should understand that the central philosophy of the working here is that minimum state intervention in recognizing property rights of people or companies, anything. Okay, so central philosophy here is that the property rights recognition, minimum state intervention hurdles should be there, and ultimately we can say that this is market friendly. It should be market friendly, and therefore it will promote the economy. To some extent, the capitalistic nature of economy it is promoting here. Okay, so let us understand the critical evaluation of India's achievements in recent year. There is very good table mentioned in that article. You refer to the newspaper, you will understand how India's ranking improved since 2014. India's ranking was around 144. India's ranking was around 144 in 2014, and last year 2019-2020 India's ranking improved up to 63. Okay, in this manner every year the improvement happened, and in different sectors, different indicators improvement happened, we can say that. However, the table in other columns, next columns, it is saying that consequently, the FDI and the GDP growth in the country, this has not been along with the improvement of ease of doing business. This suggests that on the ground, it has not resulted into, let's say, GDP contribution. It is mentioning about the manufacturing sector. So, manufacturing sector, rather the GDP contribution declined. This should not happen. If the ease of doing business is, let's say, improving, then there should be more investment in terms of FDI, but this has been almost constant. There are no variations in FDI and FII in the country. So that means there has been some kind of fault lines, or we can say that the underlying methodology to come up with this index is problematic. And this has been raised recently by various study groups in the World Bank. Some of the ethical issues highlighted by that study groups has resulted into closure of this ranking now. Which are these ethical issues? Like we can say that the methodology that has been used, data discrepancies, influence by different governments. You know, the officials who were in charge of this ease of doing business ranking in World Bank, there are allegations of corruption and the political influence by some of the countries to improve the ranking, their own ranking in ease of doing business. And this is how it has resulted into the faulty methodology, data discrepancies is there, and the influence by the government. Let us understand in terms of India what is happening to improve the ease of doing business. India has, let's say, made some reforms in terms of labor reforms. It has weakened the labor regulation. Okay, let us understand how it has weakened the labor regulations. Like for example, self-regulation by the employers is promoted. No inspections by the government, yearly or annual inspections, or let's say prior intimation whenever the inspection is going to happen by the government agencies, officials. At the same time, some of the, let's say, critical safety regulations have been tinkered, and this has resulted into, this together has resulted into problems in industrial relations in India. We have witnessed this from the industrial unrest or labor unrest. Last year, Winstron, Apple manufacturing company, we have witnessed this, the violence that happened in Karnataka, Winstron company facility, largest supplier from India to the Apple manufacturing company, right? And we have seen many such industrial disasters in last 1 or 2 years. In Visakhapatnam, Sarin gas, do you remember that disaster that happened? In Gujarat also, some of the chemical factories, there was disaster. In different parts of the country, such disasters like fire incidents are happening, and the leakage of the toxic chemicals happening from these industries, right? So this is the result of poor regulations. Okay, so let us understand this from the critical evaluation perspective. We should not, let's say, do such kind of relaxation in the regulations which are resulting into further problems and ultimately not improving the economy or status of economy. Okay, so yes, the index appears motivated to support free market ideal. Yes, we can understand that it is supporting free market, or we can say that the capitalistic nature of economy. The article is providing very good example of Chile, the country. So earlier there was, the leadership which was elected, or the government was there. So it was capitalistic in nature, and later on the socialist kind of nature government came into the power, and the ranking remained same. Okay, without, let's say, changing the policies. So because of that, what we can understand here, there are some problems in how this ranking was evolved, or let's say the data from which different sectors it is coming, whether there was deficiency in data. All these aspects are not transparent. Okay, in this manner we should understand. So in conclusion, what we can say here in conclusion, that India should not be much dependent on such kind of ranking for policy measures, to undertake such a policy measures, like the government of India tinkered with the labor regulations and the factory regulations, changes in those laws. So ultimately, if it is not resulting into further economic growth, investment in the economy, then what is the need of that? Okay, so we need to take some feedback from this incident, and whatever the further policy measures that the government of India is going to take in economy, so they should be on the basis of empirical data and not such faulty ranking system by the international organizations. Okay, any question? Yes, moving on. Stubble burning, government to spray decomposer, biodecomposer in paddy fields. So we are talking about Delhi government here, specifically Delhi government. So Delhi government is going to spray this biodecomposer. You need to know the background. Every year in October and November month there is smog formation in Delhi and NCR region. Smog is fog plus smoke. Together it is called as smog. It is very harmful. It has harmful chemicals. When inhaled, it has, let's say, aggravates the respiratory problems in the individuals and may result into fatalities. Right, so this every year annual problem being faced by Delhi. So some of the measures like the stubble burning in Delhi and surrounding region like Punjab and Haryana, which almost contributes to 45 to 50% to this kind of pollution in Delhi. So for that purpose, biodecomposer being developed by Pusa Institute in Delhi. This capsule is made, how it is prepared into a solution through week-long process, and then sprayed on stubble and straw left behind on the fields after harvesting. It converts it into manure. So it improves the soil fertility also. So it is, let's say, two-pronged strategy, reducing the pollution by avoiding stubble burning. At the same time, we are using that stubble in the fields for the organic manure itself. Okay, so this is how it not only by, let's say, effective solution to curb the stubble burning pollution, it enhances quality of the soil also. Fine, you can use this in environment section. Whenever we talk about air pollution, we are expecting essay topic also from the air pollution or in general pollution. Next, climate change is the key driver of financial risk. Okay, so this is how our deputy governor of RBI is saying that climate change and its impact is increasingly being acknowledged as a key risk driver for financial system by the governments as regulators as well as financial firms. There are two such important areas where the risk is there in the economy. Which are these? Physical risks, which mean economic cost and financial losses that are happening due to natural disasters and their frequency increase due to global warming and climate change. So extreme weather events like, let's say, tropical cyclones, heat waves, landslides, floods, wildfires, so they are increasing, and because of that the economic loss is also going to increase. It is going to impact the economy. We need to consider that part. Second, we have to understand the transition risk. It is called as compliance cost. Use these words in your answers. Compliance cost. The compliance cost here suggests that we have to shift all the economic processes to the low carbon economy. Low carbon economy, so as to reduce the greenhouse gas emissions in near future. So it will, let's say, make changes in the government policies, market and customer sentiments necessary for technological upgradation. So for example, we are going to shift from the petrol and diesel vehicles to the electric vehicles. So because of that, we are going to pay more. Simply the TVS Scooty, which cost around 60 to 70,000, and now they have come up with the new electric scooty, electric vehicle is there. TVS recently launched, and that cost around 1,05,000 or 1,10,000 rupees. Okay, so surely there will be some benefits for the customers. Some of the subsidies are being given by the government, but ultimately this is called as compliance cost. It is impacting economy. Okay, so this is for the customers or consumers, people, but yes, surely the government and the private sector overall is going to pay such compliance cost so as to adopt to low carbon economy. Remember this is very important aspect you should deliberately bring in your answers whenever we talk about impact of climate change on economy. Okay, yes. Now, COVID-19 vaccine export to resume. So yes, this is good thing that vaccination drive in India has resulted into vaccination of substantial amount of people in India, and the production capacity has also improved, and that's why the government has decided that it will export the vaccines under Vaccine Maitri initiative of the government, and it has some of the commitment towards COVAX facility. So what is this COVAX facility? Let us understand that. It is important for prelims examination. This COVAX, meaning COVID-19 Vaccines Global Access, full form. Okay, abbreviated as COVAX. It is actually the initiative aimed at equitable access to COVID-19 vaccine. It is initiative of three important organizations or coalition of three groups. Gavi, the vaccine alliance called Global Alliance for Vaccines and Immunization. Gavi is actually led by Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, okay, and some of the non-governmental, non-profit organizations. They fund this for, we can say that, vaccines to middle and low income countries like African countries. This then along with Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, CEPI, Coalition for Epidemic Preparedness Innovation, as the name suggests, this was started in 2017 so as to develop some of the vaccines for infectious diseases. In recent times their numbers is growing, like the coronavirus is there or Nipah virus is there. Different infectious diseases are spreading in the world. To prepare for that is develop these vaccines for these diseases as well as improving the access to these vaccines throughout the world. So CEPI works in that direction, and the World Health Organization. Remember all these three, and India is committed to this facility. India is going to provide the vaccines also, and through this facility India is going to receive the vaccines also. Okay, so it's two-way aspect. Also, it is one of the three pillars of Access to COVID Tools Accelerator of WHO. This is the initiative started last year in 2020 by WHO, and this is for accelerating the access to the COVID-19 vaccine to different parts of the world, different countries in the world. Okay, this is initiative of WHO, European Commission and Government of France as a response to COVID-19 pandemic. This can be asked in prelims examination. Okay, yes. Now moving ahead. Western Ghats offer major additions to flora. Flora means tree species, plant species. Fauna means animal species. Technical names are there. Yes, a Botanical Survey of India in its new publication Plant Discoveries 2020 has added new discoveries from different parts of the world, India. So 267 new species have been added in the faunal biodiversity in India. Let us understand few names of the species. Among these, 9 new species of balsam variety. Then 1 species of wild banana were discovered from Darjeeling. Okay. Then 1 species of wild jamun from Coimbatore in Tamil Nadu. So you need to remember these names as they are mentioned in the Hindu newspaper. UPC has once asked, let's say, one of the new species discovered of wild banana from Andaman and Nicobar Islands. In prelims examination that was asked, that was in news. Okay, so you need to remember this. Among the total species, the new species that are discovered, 22% of them were discovered from Western Ghats, highest among them, then followed by Western Himalayas, then Eastern Himalayas and Northeastern ranges. Okay, so we can understand Western Ghats has much of the species diversity in plants. What should be answer to this question? Try to attempt this, all students.
Answer C, sir. 134.
Okay, one of the students says has B, then C. Yes. Simple question is there. Just now we talked about COVAX facility is led by three important or coalition of three important institutions, and that is Gavi, CEPI and WHO, not World Bank. So many a time students do not know exact information. Okay, and because of that they think that okay, World Bank may be funding that. Okay, so try to understand, you need to be aware about all the international relations development in COVID-19 sector. Okay, this is important for prelims examination. This prelims as well as those who are attempting 2022 examination, for them also it is important. So answer should be 1, 3 and 4. C is correct answer. Fine. Okay, so these were important articles. Any question? Yes, new students who have joined today, do we have any question?
Sir, I have a general doubt, sir,
Yes.
related to political.
Yes.
Sir, yesterday, Punjab Minister has been, newly Chief Minister has been appointed, sir,
Yes.
Congress. Today they have an allegation on CM, sir. Is there any committee before appointing the CM to any state? Is there any legal and as well as the personal political character as well as the inquiry commission is there, sir, from the Election Commission of India?
There is no such provision at present. Okay, this is purely political decision. Okay, the political party or the coalition which has majority, they together decide that, and this is political decision, and no constitutional body can let's say have any say in that. Try to understand. CM is political position, right? Like Prime Minister, CM is also political position.
After the allegation, immediately they are going to be changing the next person. This is a vast of more resources are going to be wasting from the departmental side as well as the government.
Yes, we can understand that, but this shows the political maturity or immaturity that we have even after 75 years of independence. Right, so to some extent there is centralization of political power witnessed in both ruling party as well as opposition party. So chief ministers of the state should be the affairs of state, let's say heads of the political party, and not the central command, or we can say high command, we generally use the word, right? So yes, the more time we have, or let's say all these developments, ultimately the political maturity in a democracy will result into appropriate decisions here. In public administration, sir is going to deal with this issue in detail. Okay, paper 2 is there sir will discuss all these issues. Okay, any other question? Okay, then let us stop. Tomorrow we'll meet at the same time. Thank you.
Contact us to avail the combo offer of General Studies and Public Administration optional with 20% discount.